So, let's jump in and play some more puzzle game. Let's get into it. Coffee save me. Definitely find myself getting more and more tired as the week goes on. Fridays are just... Man. By the time Friday rolls around, I'm in danger of not even making it to the stream. Made it today, though. I am here. Hopefully caffeine will carry. And, we'll see whether or not my brain can click into gear for the purposes of solving puzzles. Alright, so this is, remains unsolved. I guess we were part of the way through this one? I didn't even start this, is what this looks like. I didn't even start this? Man, what are we even doing in this section? Wait, that one's solved. Oh! It doesn't retain partial solves across sessions. That's a surprise, honestly. Like, going to an already solved puzzle and seeing it blank is odd. But okay, I guess we're starting fresh on whatever this was. I don't know how much progress I made on it. Probably not very. But, might as well get moving. See what I can do. Let's see. I know how this works. These don't have to be... It's... Oh, yeah, okay. This is why it works in this way, is I can't put dark cells next to other dark cells. So, if I know that one of these two is going to be dark, and I do know that one of these two is going to be dark because it's 2, then this has to be light. And likewise here. And then this 11, I think, is the next place that we can start. Oh, I made a bunch of progress on this puzzle. Wow, I'm sad that it didn't retain it. Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. If I go all the way down to the 6, I'm boned, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I can't connect to the 6, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is as far as it can go. So it would need 9, 10, 11 at a minimum. And likewise going to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 at a minimum. Great. Great. Now this 7 we know can't connect left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can't connect. 6, 7. And this 8, no, this 6 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Now what? Alright, so now this 3 is actually in the same position as this 2, right? It only needs one more in order to get solved. So that could be here, or here, or here, or here. And then the other 4, or the other 3 spots are dark. Which means this and this is guaranteed light. Because one of these 2 is going to be dark, and one of these 2 is going to be dark. Pretty good. Pretty good. Can I do the same thing with the 4? No. Not quite. If the 4 already had 3, I could do the same thing. It's the, this pattern version of corners. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe? What about this 8? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if it connects up, it breaks this 7, right? 6, 7, 8. Yep. If it connects up, it breaks a 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is the most you can get going up here. 5, 6, 7, 8 would be required. And this cannot connect. So we have that. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at minimum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now this 4. This pattern with this 4 is mirrored. Hmm. would do about that. Let's see. This solves, and this solves. Or it could go both of these dark and go up or down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this 8. 4 on this 6. 3 on the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the 11. Imagine needing to connect all light cells. I feel like I made so much progress on this puzzle before, right? Like, we did this whole big thing. Man. This solves and this solves. I can't go 2 up, so one of these two needs to be dark. But I can take this and this, and that is also a valid solve, light and light. But one of these two is guaranteed dark, and I don't know if that helps me. They might both be dark. I don't think that helps me. Maybe it should help me? But I'm not sure that it does help me. Interesting. This needs 2. And it'll be out of this spot, and this spot. So these 2 could both be light, and then this could be dark. Yeah, I'm not guaranteed that one of these is dark. Too bad. Too bad. That would make things easier. Is it the 4? I feel like it has to be the 4. I feel like that's the next step. That's the closest to anything I can actually do here. If it goes up, so it's either these 2 are both light, or this is light, or this is light. And if this is light, we have dark, dark, dark. If this is light, we have dark, dark, dark. But they could both be dark, and then I have light and light, and that would work. Yeah, I don't have any guarantees around this, I don't think. Rough. Difficult. Let's see. I know this 4 can't connect to this. So it's kind of a similar position, where it's like, if this is light, we have dark, 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 dark. If this is dark, we have a lot of options, but it can't be light, light. You can only get 1 light out of this, and then it has to go either up or down. Maybe I could do something with the 11 now? Maybe this 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nope. Do I have more value out of this 7 now? What's up, Cryptomancer? How's it going? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope. Same value. Oh, but this 11 has changed now. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is all I can get this way because it can't connect, and it got that extra dot. 8, 9, 10, so this has to be light. Yeah, we did it. So now this 7 is a little bit more restricted, right? Because the most it can get here is to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is guaranteed. And these two can't connect, so this is dark. Heck yeah, we did it. Ah, all right. That's progress. This can't connect here, because that would kill the 3. So that's good. Now what? This 3 still needs one of these 3, and I don't know which. Is this 7 more? Do we have more information? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think if this is 4, it has to be exactly 5, 6, 7, right? Because it can't connect here, so it has to be exactly this. It has to be exactly that. All right, great. Now this can't connect either. Okay, cool. Cool, good. Good and cool. That's got to be light then. Which means maybe we have something with this 6. Maybe we have something with this 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, yeah. 8's got to be exactly that. That's fine. This 11 is probably even more restricted now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it needs exactly 9, 10, 11. And now the 6 needs exactly these. Sweet. All right, that's starting to look like progress. This sufficiently retreading our steps from the last time I tried this puzzle. All right, this 8 probably needs to extend in some direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 requires 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 requires 7, 8, and that's 8 now. This 3 is resolved. Great. And here or here, this could still be sealed off in weird ways. This can't be sealed off, though, because light cells need to all connect. 4, 5, 6. This could still be light. Unclear. This has to be light now. This can't connect here because that kills the 4. So now this 4 either needs 2 in this column or 1 here exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it can't connect here. Which means that needs to extend out, and this escapes down to here. So this has to connect up. This can't connect here. That would kill the 4. Light, light. Oh, this is real progress, actually. We're doing so good. We're doing so good. This can't connect here. That would kill it. So it needs to connect here, which is resolved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be 7. So it needs to go here. Wow, this got so easy. For some value of so easy. Like, once I filled in the one thing up here, it finally just came together, and it's pretty much in its entirety. I'm impressed, actually, with how well this is coming together. What about the rest of it? This is gonna act like this 8, isn't it? It's got the 1 here, so it's gonna be dark here and light the rest of the way through. Is there anything that... Hang on. Is there anything else that can't be dark, given the situation that we're in right now? Can this be dark? Honestly, I think everything light is connected right now. Oh, the 9, I can do the same thing that I did with the 8. So the 9 has 1, 2. And if it had 3, 4, 5, 6, it would still need 7, 8, 9. Now the 9 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if it had 7, it would still need 8 and 9. And now it's 9. Great. Now this can't connect. So it has to go here, which resolves it. Hell yeah. Oh, that moves pretty quickly. I must have been tired last time that I get... Like, I remember some amount of this getting resolved, and the fact that I didn't then make the final last jump, I feel like is an indicator of how slowly I was working on this last time. Because this all came together, like, the new stuff here came together in, like, 5 minutes. Pretty clean. All right, let's cause more problems for ourselves. Oh, here we go. Here we go. 5 hours is a lot of puzzling for one brain. Nonsense! How big is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so this is another 10 by 10. Let's start with the twos. We know the twos with this thing means that all of this has to happen. So that's great, which means that can't connect and that can't connect. That's probably also great. That can't connect. Now that can't connect, so that's got to be there. Heck yeah. This 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it needs at least that. Might need more. No promises. This 4 is definitely connecting in one of these three. Exactly one of these three. So one of these two is dark. So this is dark, light. So this has to be dark. So this has to be dark. Cool. Only some of the twos deserve the surrounding white treatment. Oh, yeah. I just forgot that there were more twos. I guess some of the twos are second-class citizens. I think that means some of the threes are third-class citizens. This is here because this needs an extra spot. Also, these need to be light. I forgot that placing dark cells means everything needs to be light around them. Oh, this is trapped. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, dark. This can't connect. This needs to be light. This needs to be light. These are not sealed off yet. I have not yet learned anything conclusive here, although I might be able to do something with the 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I am, in fact, capable of doing something with the 11. Good news, everyone. This has to connect out down to here, but there's enough room that it's not guaranteed how it's doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If this connects here, it's resolved. Not yet clear whether or not that'll happen. Sure. The 5 can't connect all the way to the 2. But there's so much room around it otherwise. It's fine. Thing is fine. One of these two has to be dark, actually. Both for the 2 and the 5, now that I think about it. Which doesn't actually... One of these two has to be light, actually. That's the important part here. One of these two has to be light, which means the 5 cannot go more than one space in either direction here. So one of these two has to be dark. They might both be dark, but at least one of them has to be dark. So this has to be light. Yeah. One cell. Always feels good to go through like a minute and a half of chaining logic together in order to guarantee a single cell and then get no further progress from that line of logic. Feels like you did something. Not clear what, but something. Alright, so this 4 is connecting to one of these 3. Much like this one did. Once it connects to one of these, The other two are dark, so this is guaranteed light, so that can't connect. So it connects to one of these, and then it needs one more, either in that direction or down. It probably mirrors what's going on over here. But I guess that's also not guaranteed. 11. 11's a big number. If this is light, it can't go left, but it can go right or down. Same here. If this is light, it can't go right, but it can go left or down. What does that mean for this 6? Both of these could be light. Yes. There is a world in which both of these are light. That is not an immediately illegal outcome. Yeah, so what's my next step? Where are we going from here? Oh, if one of these is light, then this can't be light, because the 5 will get an extra sight here. There we go. Nice, 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 nice. Super good. Super good. Alright, this 6 is now a little more restricted. 4, 5, 6. Not enough restricted, though. If this is light, both of these are dark. If this is dark, can both of these be light? Yes. Damn it. Not quite there yet. Do I have another light must extend in a given direction because connect all light cells yet? This is all one thing here. This is a separate thing that needs to connect. This is a separate thing that needs to connect, but there's still a lot of places where it can do so. How's this 11 doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Same as before. Nothing new. I have completely drained my original coffee drink. I'm saying original because it says original on the packaging, not because of any other originality associated with it. And I'm not sure that it's enough. We may need more. I may need to call in the reserves. Hydrate or dihydrate, correct? Water does also help, but it doesn't have the same kick to it, you know? I'm missing something. I know I'm missing something. I know there's like... it doesn't necessarily need to be obvious, but there does need to be a next step here. It's probably this 6. Or the 4. Since I don't think it's the 11, and I don't think it's this 6, and I don't think it's this 3. Nothing has changed for this 3. I filled in a bunch of stuff here, so we should probably be able to get something out of these, right? Probably? Seems likely? 6 could go all the way up. The 6 could go all the way left and be dark here. If this is light, I think we take this to paint, actually. I think I have an idea. So if this is light, that means dark and dark, which means light here. This now needs light, light, dark, which means light. And then this needs to be light in order for these lights to get out. And then... There's no and then. This seems entirely plausible. Alright, flip it around. If this is dark, this now needs exactly all of these to be light. Which means this needs to be dark for the 2, which means the 4 is boned. This can't be dark. We did it. We did it. We figured it out. Yeah. And then this needs to come out here. All right, now we're making real progress. Probably. Now we're doing something real progress adjacent. Let's see. How much does this 11 need if it goes all the way elsewhere? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If all of this was light, this would have to be dark and this would have to be light. If. If it takes both of these, can both of these be light? That's a good question. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This would have to be dark. If both of these were light, this would have to be dark. Which means we'd have to have light, light. And then this would be light, which would be illegal. So we can't have both of these being light. One of these needs to be dark. Which, imagine the less restrictive one is dark here. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, if this were light, this would have to be dark. Yeah, there's all sorts of... a host of problems with that situation. So this is guaranteed. And then if this is dark, it gets the extra light at the end. Now this 3 needs one of these 2, and the other is dark. That's fine. This 11 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, yeah, they can't both be light because of the 2. One of them needs to be... That would have been an easier way to figure that out. Yes, I agree. These can't both be light either because of this 6 now. This is too much light. The light is too light. So one of these needs to be dark. Can it be this one? Yes. Maybe. Yes, probably. If this is dark, taking it to paint. If this is dark, that means light, light, light. Which means this is dark. And this is dark. So now this 6 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dark. And this 11 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is dark. So this is light. Does this work? Hang on, this is weird. Because it seems like this could then be dark or light, and it's not going to make a difference. Something is wrong here. Is everything connected? Everything is connected. Right? The 3 is valid. This 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is valid. This 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is valid. The 2 is valid. This is weird. Top left wouldn't be connected? Oh, if this were dark, top left wouldn't be connected. Yeah, okay, so that has to be light. But this looks like a solution, right? All right, let's take it the other direction instead of drawing the owl. If this were light, this would have to be dark. This would have to be dark as well, which seals this off. Great. Okay. Three, 4, 5, 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. All right. Came together. Now I can move on with my life. I have 11 more puzzles that I need to solve here for yet another miracle cube. Oh, right. I haven't come in and done this from the bottom up because it's 2 separate mazes. Well, I'm hearing a thing. Was in fact hearing a thing. Hey, look, there's logic things. Should we do the logic things? Might as well, as long as I'm here. Huh! Don't make this pattern or this pattern. Okay. Oh, wow. So, dark cells cannot be even diagonally adjacent to other dark cells. No adjacency whatsoever. Orthogonal? Which one does orthogonal refer to? Does orthogonal refer to, like, the direct adjacent as opposed to the diagonal adjacent? And if I just say adjacent, it counts for both of them? I think orthogonal is the more restrictive one. Yeah, orthogonal is the more restrictive. Diagonal is also the more restrictive. And both are types of adjacency. Not orthogonal? Correct. I agree with that. I believe that to be true. Oh, orthogonal. Huh. Have I been misreading that this whole time? I might have been. That's quite possible. All right, so there's no rules about connectivity here, right? How many sides do you think an orthogon has? I think it has 4. And they are all connected to other shapes. It's like, if you have... Okay, it actually doesn't matter how many sides an orthogon has. If you have an octagon, right? And then another octagon on each of the... Like, on 4 of the sides, so that they connect to each other, and then make, like, blank diamonds in between the different octagons. Like, you sort of picture that shape. That middle octagon is an orthogon. What am I doing here? This is a rough start. So vertically, they all have 7 openings, except for this row, which is 9. Horizontally, any of these with a 3 lights has 6 potential spots for dark cells. But, like, how restrictive is that, right? If this is dark, for example, then all of the surrounding cells are light. Which means this row here is then more restricted, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possibilities for dark cells at that point. Maybe I try it the other way around. Like, if this is dark, then these 3 are light. Which means exactly this is dark. Taking that to paint. Right? If this is dark, then these are all light. Which means this is guaranteed dark. Light, light, light. One of these is guaranteed dark. So both of these are light. And both of these are light. One of these is dark and one of these is dark. So light in these 2. One of these is dark. Now this has exactly 3 openings, any combination of which could be dark. Unhelpful. Maybe if I start here, that's even more restrictive? No, it is insufficiently restrictive, actually. If I start here, it's very restrictive. I thought this was going to be more restricted. I guess, oh, this has 4 cells taken up, right? Because this interleaves with this in a weird way in exactly this row. Okay. So if we start with this is dark, then we have these are all light, which means exactly this is dark and this is dark. Just, as an example, one of these 2 is then dark. So this is light and this is light. Now we're left with exactly one of these 2 and exactly this. One of these 2. So this is light and this is light. What does this mean for me? Here is a huge problem. That has to be exactly this and this. Now we have these 2, which has to be this and this. Which means exactly this and this. And now we have 2 dark here vertically. And 2 dark here vertically. So this has to be exactly this one. And this has to be exactly this one. This has 2 dark. Now we have here and here, so this has to be dark. This has to be here and here, which is illegal. We did it. We found illegality. Wait, no. Yes. No. Yeah. This doesn't have an extra dark in this row. So this would need to be like dark here and dark here. And we're missing a dark in this row. So this is illegal, starting from here. So this cell is light. I can't help but feel like maybe I am doing this the wrong way. Like, if I drop a dark here, can I just look at the numbers of cells that are available and conclusively prove that that's a problem? No, because there's a bunch of overlap. Like, this space is huge. Dark here might cause a problem, right? Light, light all around here. Y'all can... Thank you. I feel like I should know more about what's going on here. Maybe there's rules to follow that I can learn by having done a different puzzle of this type. Yeah, let's start with the easier versions of whatever's going on here. This is presumably the same kind of thing? Yep, this is the same. 2! Is there a 1? There's another 2 down there. Oh. There's a 3 in the maze. There's a 2 in the maze. There's a 2 down here. There's a 3 in the maze. Ah, there's a no stars in the maze. There's a 5. There's just dots. Maybe we start with that. So maybe we start with this maze, actually. Let's resolve this maze. And see if we can figure out what we're supposed to do. Is that a separate entryway? No, okay. There is the solution plate? Is that right? I don't think that's actually it. Is it the same solution plate for both mazes? No, that is a separate solution plate there. Okay, so you got to come up from there. Is it just one panel per one jump panel per floor? It looks like one jump panel per floor. Okay, so this should be easier than it looks. No, there are multiple jump panels. I take it back. This is harder than it looks. There's multiple jump panels on the first floor. And then that jump panel takes you to the solution. How many jump panels are on the second floor? Just one? None, maybe? Are there none jump panels on the second floor? There might be none jump panels on the second floor, which is fascinating. Yo, what's up, Mark Mages? How you doing? Thank you so much for the raid. That is a sealed box. Oh, there's 2 jump panels on the second floor. All right, this is a mess. I'm not going to be able to figure this out. Let's just run it and see how badly I do. Oh, there's diagonal walls? I hate this. I hate it here. Hello. Thank you. Oh, I really hate it here. We need a way to fall back into the first floor, I think. Huh? Oh, yeah, these diagonals suck. That's fascinating. Okay, exceptionally bad at mazes. Mazes are not easy to do, though. Can I do anything here? No. This is the copium. Mazes are mazes are hard. That's what I'm saying. I want to believe that mazes are hard, so I don't have to admit that I'm bad at them. First ever Astalon rando and you think logic was broken. Oh no! Oh, that's so miserable. Can we make it into this hole? Or is this just sealed off forever? Oh, the hole is how I win. Maybe. The hole is definitely how I win. Okay, okay. What was broken with the logic? That's fascinating. This one doesn't look like it's making it easy for me. No, it really doesn't. I do believe that is the point, but yeah, no jokes. Is this not? No, I have to go across here. But then what can I do from here? Nothing? Looking like big nothing energy? Oh, I made it! I made it to the center. Oh no! Alright, well, let's assume the center is intended to make me go to the next jump pad then. Because that seems more likely. Rough. Alright, well now we can make it into here. So that's good? Expected to collect the item at the white key location at the campfire just inside Ruins of Ash. You usually drop down from above to a little ledge. It only Algus. Couldn't find any way to get above unless there was an extremely precise jump to tag the gate crystal in the room before it. I think Albus has the same thing, the same jump glitch as Blue Dude, where if you hold down fire and you time a jump correctly, you get an extra head of height. Like Arius. Yeah. Oh, hang on a second. The plumber's calling me back. I might need to take this. Okay, no, I agree with you. Those aren't supposed to be in logic on easy logic. I don't know what that means for what you were supposed to be doing. I agree. That sounds like quite the situation. What am I supposed to do with that? There's no other thing in the maze. What is your deal? Huh? Oh, there is another thing in the maze. But you can't tag it through glass. You're a 5-star. That's terrible. Not here for that. Oh god, let me out. Let me out. Help, I'm trapped. I'm not trapped. I'm just flailing. Alright, let's try it this way. From the front. Because I know where your friend is now. Your friend is here. So we need to be able to see... Wait, is that right? Yes, that's right. So what you're saying is there is a position from which I can see both of these? Okay, I guess that's accurate. Unexpectedly accurate. Excuse me? I tagged you through the wall. Is that allowed? Oh, you are rude! I don't even know where I'm supposed to be. Oh my god. Did it already go back? Holy crap, where did it go? It didn't go back. This is the worst. Where is it? Is it on the 3rd floor? Yes. Heh. Alright, now let's get this bad boy. Since I know where your friend is. Wait, do I know where your friend is? How knowledgeable am I about your friend? It's there. Right? That's the same shape? That's the same shape. Okay. Confusing. Oh, I'm very curious about the 5-star, but I'm too worried about other things to be curious about the 5-star. Oh, there it is. Okay, 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 okay. Also, like, that thing's gonna be killer. Like, there's so much garbage in this maze. There's so much garbage in this maze. Also can't click it through the glass. Still can't click it through the glass. Cool. Let's go find that one dotted puzzle instead of the stars. U. How do I get to U? Probably via solving the puzzle and running outside. Let's do the easy version before we're stuck on the harder versions. Because this concept feels like I'm missing some particular thing that is going to make this easier. Okay. Well, this is definitely an easier start. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a good start. And then one dark cell in each column and row. And also this. So am I in a position where I can rule out certain locations because they make other things impossible? Do I have that power? Oh, one of these 3 needs to be dark because of this. Same way one of these 3 needs to be dark. Which means exactly this cell needs to be light. Yeah, the viewpoint numbers help. Some. The viewpoint numbers help some. But, like, if this were dark and this were dark, that would be a legal arrangement. That would be a legal arrangement. It's either dark and dark, or dark and dark, or dark and dark. Which means no matter what, this is light. Right? Here and here. Here and here. Here and here. Or here and here, or here and here. I guess that doesn't guarantee anything for this, which is what I was hoping for. Because it could be dark and dark. Dark and dark? That's legal. No. Dark here isn't legal because both of these would need to be light. Okay. So I can look at what makes a viewpoint number overcommit and rule that out as well. Like, kind of one of these 3 needs to be dark is the same as if this is dark, this is overcommitted. And that's an easier way to think about it. One of these 2 now needs to be dark, which means this has to be light. Oh, and in fact, one of these 2 needs to be dark, so these both have to be light. And one of these 2 needs to be dark, so these both have to be light. Because 1. So what does this mean for the 9? It doesn't mean anything for the 9 yet. Yet. Hold. In fact, one of these 4 needs to be dark, right? Well, obviously one of these 4 needs to be dark, but also one of these 4 needs to be dark. This can't get any more than 2, which puts the furthest dark on this row here. So this has to be light. One of these 3 now needs to be dark, obviously. but we have a 5, a relationship with this 5 between things. Like, if this is dark, if this is dark, the 5 isn't overcommitted. If this is dark, yeah, these can't all 3 be light. But if this is dark, this needs all 3 of these light in order to get 5. So this has to be light. So now this can't be dark. This is a process, man. How's this 9 doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, this has to be dark because it's the only remaining thing in the column. Dang. So this 4 is committed. So this 5 is committed. And this row is done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This needs to be here, which means this needs to be here and here. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, that turned a corner pretty fast. That's helpful. Do I want to get the others in the maze? I want to get the 2 that were outside. There were 2 stars that were outside, and I want to start there, I think. Slowly internalizing the structure of this maze. Two stars? Yeah, there was this one up here and then one below it. So let's go with this one. 2. All right. Now we got 2s. But no viewpoints on this one, which makes things a little bit more painful. What is the most limited? One of these 2 and one of these 2. So this is guaranteed. Regardless of which of these 2 are dark, these all need to be light because of adjacency. Let's see. Now we're down to just 4. Which could be 1 and 2, or 1 and 2, or 1 and 2. But it's one of these 2, and it's one of these 2. Is there anywhere else I can make similar comparisons? 2, a 3, and a 2. Yeah, this row of 5 whites actually pretty restrictive. I guess I'm not guaranteed one of these 2 because it could be here and here. But we can also, like, try that out and see how painful that is. Because that is restrictive in terms of where things can get placed here. So maybe we put that in paint and see if that does anything. So if, for example, we had dark and dark, that means we have to have dark here and here. And this is actually restricted as well to these. None of these overlap such that we have a full column. But it does mean that this has to be dark. Which means one of these 3 is dark, which means this is light. This is actually looking real. This is dark, and this is dark now. which means one of these two and this, which gets that column done. At least one of these three. Maybe both of these three, though. Maybe two of these three. So that's still not firm one way or the other. One of these two, so that's light, which means that's dark, and one of these two is dark. Which means exactly this and this. This is actually looking like it's just going to solve, isn't it? That's light, so this is dark, and light, and dark, and light, and dark, and light, and dark. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Adjacencies? The adjacencies are all safe. We found the owl. Wow, you just start drawing the solution, and it's just correct. Don't you love it when your first solution is just correct? All right, what did this mean for me now? Where did I go from here? Oh, here. Which means that, and that, that, and that. Sure. Great. Well, that came together surprisingly easily. I mean, I guess we could call that a lucky first guess. But, like, I don't know why it would be that lucky for me. Okay, so here we can do the same thing, right? Two of these. So one here, and then the same thing applies here. And then the same thing applies here. I hate it here. Why? Why are you making me do this? Okay, I think that means there's rules about what can be where here. Like, I think this and this have to be dark. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 possibilities for darks here. And this one blocks off 2 of them. This one blocks off 2 of them. This one blocks off exactly 1. Yeah, I think it needs to be this and this. But, like, if this were dark, these would both be light, which means these are both dark, which means all of these are light. If this is dark, both of these are light, which means both of these are dark, which means both of these are light, which means that is necessary, which means that is necessary. Which means that is necessary, and that is necessary. What a strange puzzle. It came together really cleanly, in a way that I didn't expect. I thought it was going to be harder. I thought there was going to be something else going on. All right, let's start on the threes, I guess. I don't want to go that way. I guess I want to go up, huh? Oh, so I guess I do want to go this way. Man, I thought I knew how this maze worked, and I really do not know how this maze works. Ah, another 2! Hooray! Only 3 puzzles from the Miracle Cube? What a deal. Okay. So... we can do that again, right? Same here. One of these 2. So that. Ah, viewpoint numbers. Viewpoint numbers save me. This could be only here for this 2? No. Oh, yeah, okay. So this is going to need 2 darks, which means it can't be these 2, right? Or these 2. It has to be... yeah, it can't be these 2. Yeah, this can't be dark, because then both of these would have to be light. That's the rule. Which means this, and this, and this. 4... 2, 3, 4, 5. So, one of these 2 is dark. Hang on. One of these 2 is dark, and the other is light. So we have a dark between these 2, and a dark between these 2. 3, 4, 5. Which doesn't, unfortunately, extend itself to the rest of the puzzle. Like, one of these 2 being dark doesn't actually tell me anything about the remaining pieces. Reliably, anyway. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So from here up, any of these could be dark, but this one can't. So if this is dark, this is light. And if this is dark, this is light. Yes, okay, cool. I agree. Is dark here game breaking in some way? One of these 2 needs to be dark. Which means if one of these 3 is dark, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at most, this needs to be light. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So one of these 2 is dark for sure. Also, given the 2, one of these 2 is dark for sure. Which means this is exactly this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, well, the viewpoints are resolved, which means Figure the rest out yourself, idiot. One, two, one, one. One of these is dark. One of these two is dark. One of these two is dark. One of these two is dark actually means this also. Right? Cool. This is set up so that each of these columns can only have one more dark. And they need to be either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be 5, I guess. Could be there. Could be there. But wait, could both of these be light? Like if this were dark, could both of these be light? Yes. We could have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this actually can't be dark. If this were dark, light, 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 light. Light. Dark, dark, dark. 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 Dark? But is that real? Damn it. All right, into paint. We have questions. Let's provide answers. Can this be real? Because that's 2 now. So then here requires exactly these two. Which requires that. So that requires that. And both of these need to be dark, which is illegal. All right, cool. Yeah! Good job, buddy! All right, how many more are in this maze? Is it time to start on the 3s? I think it might be time to start on the 3s, assuming I can get there. Help? Ah, figured it out. You're difficult to get to, pal. One of these two needs to be dark, which means... yeah, if this is dark, if either of these are light, the other needs to be dark. So one of these two needs to be dark, which means that's light, which means this. Great. One of these two needs to be dark, which doesn't tell me anything. Or same thing over here now. Because of this setup, only one of these can be light, so the other needs to be dark. But one of them does need to be light, and then the other can be dark. So this 5 can get at most 4 here, so that has to be lit. This could be dark, dark. Or this could be dark, dark. Can this be dark, dark? No, that's... okay, yeah. This 4 needs one of these two to be dark. If this is dark, this is light, this is dark. If this is light, this is dark, this is light, this is dark. So this 5 is getting exactly 3 here, which means this vertical is guaranteed. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I can't get full 5 here anyway. So this is guaranteed, which means this 6 is resolved. And now we have other things that we can do. Aha. Great. Progress. Looking good, maybe. Has potential. And now the rest of it is just the darts. We can't use the viewpoints anymore. We're just on darts. Okay. So this is either... Oh, this is aha. Never mind. It's not either anything. Ah, and then we have the same rule as before, right? This can't be dark. The offset diagonals thing. Cool. Well, that also went by pretty quickly. Like, surprisingly quickly. Whee! Am I ready for that 5? Might be ready for that 5. Let's do this 3 first. Oh boy! This looks scary. I don't think it is scary, but it looks scary. Let's see. Something dark in the middle here. And these two can connect, but they don't have to. The 7 can't reach the 4, so something dark in the middle here as well. Yeah, this would be 6. So the 5 can't connect to the 6, and the 4 can't connect to the 7. The 6 can connect to the 7. There is no law against it. This looks like it's a harder start. Likewise, the 4 can connect to the 5. It doesn't seem inherently illegal. But if one of these is dark and one of these is dark, what else does that mean? Wonder how the rest of the game will feel when I'm done with this effectively bonus area. That's a very good question. Like, I might go back to the other stuff and be like, wow, this stuff is so easy now. And I might go back to the other stuff and be like, wow, this stuff is differently hard. This game is very good at making things differently hard. I have noticed that, at least. The problem with only knowing where one dark cell is it's not quite restrictive enough to actually let me fill anything in. This is 10 by 10? 2, 3, 6. Yep. Alright. If this 7 cannot connect vertically, how much space does this 7 have access to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as much as 6? Alright, well that's really not restrictive at all, is it? What about this 4? The problem is it's still not definite, right? Like, it doesn't need to be bracketed on both sides by a dark cell vertically or horizontally, because it could get bracketed by the edge. So it could be a dark here and then like a dark out here or something like that. Which is a shame. I was hoping the positioning would imply the existence of two dark cells bracketing it. That would make that easier. Maybe it does anyway? With the presence of this 5 here? There's no required connection across. It can't be both of these, though. Wait, can it? Sure it could. And then this would need to be dark. And then we have the entire 5, and then both of these are dark. 6. Seems legal. Do I want to put it into paint? Seems excessive for a guess that, if it is wrong, doesn't actually allow me to fill anything in. Because I am guessing 2 dark cells at a time. This can't be dark, because then this 4 sees 5. Likewise here. I guess likewise all of these. The 4 is bracketed. Is the same true for the 5? Like, if this is dark, then the 5 sees too much. Here is okay, but these ones can't, because it connects to the 4. Yeah, dark here gives me 6 exactly. Which doesn't seem like inherently a problem. Dark here gives this 5, 5. Oh, dark here means both of these would need to be dark. Likewise here. Dark here gives me 6 exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which again means both of these need to be dark. And they can't be dark next to each other. But the same is not true for the 7. And a dark here just gives me 5. Which means one of these 2 is lit. Or could be. And doesn't require me to put 2 darks next to each other. How goes this analytically paralytic puzzle? The analysis paralysis is quite strong. It's not exactly analysis paralysis. That is a colloquial term. But I am analyzing. To some degree. Wouldn't call it paralyzing, though. Alright, so what does this mean for me? I am now somewhat restricted on both of these rows, and somewhat restricted in this column. Not in any way that I think is super meaningful. Are these actually restricted? Like, if this is dark, that requires light, light, which doesn't actually require anything else. If either of these were dark, this would have to be dark. Is that okay? And then the other could be light or dark, I guess, because this would still need one more dot. Is there something else that I'm missing? some other tool that I have access to. Some heuristic or algorithm or lemma that I can apply. How's this 9 doing? Oh, yeah. Okay. I think so. Right? Like, here, for example, if this were light, if this were dark, then all 3 of these would need to be light, which means all 3 of these need to be dark. Likewise here. Likewise here? No, not here. Here is actually safe, because it only lights up 2. It doesn't light up the full 3. Okay, so we have a progressively shrunken sets of light surrounding the 4, where places can't be dark because it overextends the 4. And then you have a similar pattern around the 5, but shrunken, because it's not overextending. Or it's differently overextending. And likewise around the 6, because it's just overextending when connecting to the 7. Interesting. We do still know that at least one of these needs to be dark, and at least one of these 4 needs to be dark. Can it be this? Can this be dark? If this were dark, we have light all around it, and then this can't connect between it. So this would also have to be dark. Which means light, light. If this were dark, light. Either this is dark, or this is dark. If this is dark, this is dark, light, light. This has to be dark. Not worrying about that yet. Oh, I see. It only makes sense from here because it requires extra darks on the other side of the 4. If this were dark, these can't all 4 be light. So there needs to be another dark in these 3, which means that it's light all the way up on the 4. And at that point, this can't be dark. It has to be here, here, and here. Taking it to paint. This is enough. All right. Time to spin out a long hypothetical. If this is dark, then these 2 can't both be light. So one of them needs to be dark, which means we have light, 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 light. If this were dark, both of these would be light, which overextends the 4. So this needs to be dark, which means this and this is dark. Which means the 5 is exactly completed. Which means the 6 is exactly completed. What kind of position does this put us in? One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. The 7 is exactly completed. Great. Wow, this actually works. How disgusting. I don't see any problem with this, which means it's probably real. This row now has to be this and this. Which means this row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah, it's broken! Oh, wait, hang on. I was wrong. I was wrong about what this needed. Because that was more than 2 in this column. No wonder it didn't work. It didn't work because I broke it, not because it was broken. Do I feel good about where this has gone? No, I don't. All right, I think what does need to happen, though, is I need to take my usual stream break. That is a... What are we doing? All right, so the next step... Still not sure what exactly the next step is. Like, we made some progress here in Paint, but this looks entirely feasible. Like, there's not any real reason why this setup couldn't be exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So maybe I take a step back and find out whether or not a different setup is possible or impossible. Like, if we start with this being light, can this be light also? No. If this is light, this has to be dark. What does that mean for me? Can this be... What's up, Vera? How's it going? Now I have a 4 here. So one of these, they can't... Can they both be dark? If they're both dark, this is light, this is dark. That seems plausible. If one of these are dark, like if this is light, for example, dark up here, one of these two is light, the other is dark, that's like this. There's so many ways that this could work. We have resorted to paint. Oh, we have so resorted to paint. There's a lot of ways that this could work. None of them seem like they are directly a problem. I guess if once I assume any given dark, any given lights even adjacent to the 4, I can start making additional assumptions, right? Like this can't be dark because, or this can't be dark rather, because that generates too much light. That overextends the 5. So this needs to be light and this needs to be light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Both of these could be light if this were dark. This has to be light now, and this has to be light now. Because, again, can't overextend the 5. Does that mean this has to... Could be 2 here. Could be dark and dark. That would work. And then dark up here. Does this being light mean things about what I can and can't do? I think this being dark, there being a dark in the middle here. Oh, this being dark, like this being light and dark specifically, means that there has to be a dark over here. So these all have to be light, which overextends the 5. Ah, okay. We figured it out. This can't be light. So if this is light, this has to be dark. Because if this is light, we have darks touching here. So this has to be dark. Which means that there has to be another dark over here for the 4 to be legal. So these all have to be light. And that immediately overextends the 5. So this cell specifically, you can see them. You can kind of see the mouse. It's a little hard. But yeah, this cell specifically has to be dark. All right. This, ladies and gentlemen, is progress. That means that there is a dark over. No, there might not be a. Yeah, yeah, okay. No, there is a dark between these three. In fact, um, there can only be light. Either this or this is dark. This has to be light. One of these two has to be dark. Which means the 5 is fully committed. And this is just going to unlock the puzzle, I think. You can't sense small. Fair enough. Let's see. These now have to be light because we can't have all 3 of these being dark. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. We have 5 here. Adding 3 would be legal. Let's see. Do both of the dark cells need to, like, does this and this need to be dark? I guess if the dark is here, we could have a dark here, or here, and then this could be light, and then the other dark could be elsewhere in this column. This is committed, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. All right, now work is being done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this needs 2 more. And it could be up or it could be down, and it could be 2, right? Yeah, either of these could be. Any of these. Yeah, this all works. This all works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, this can be light or dark. I guess if this is light, both of these are dark, so this can't be light, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8. Sure. This is 1 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Requires a second dark up here, so this has to be light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 7, 8 or 7, 8. Which would require dark. So either of these being light means that both... Okay, so if both of these are light, right? If it's dark, light, light. Oh, that's heckin' illegal. If this is dark, both of these are light. So if... Yeah, if this is dark, making light, light here, then both of these have to be light, which is broken. So this has to be light, which means this 8 is either stopped here or here. I think this 4 is still the answer, but I'm not exactly sure. If I could figure out which of these, actually, I think that gives me a lot more headway, too. Also, what this 7 is doing. That's 2. That's 2. The rest of these are 1s? The rest of these are 1s. No guarantees anywhere. Oh, this has guarantees, though. Now this setup. Great. I love this. So this has to be dark. And one of these two has to be dark. Cool. Cool and good. So now this 4 needs either light, dark, or dark, light. And then dark. Either of those works. This 9, how is this 9 doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 7, 8, 9 dark. Which guarantees dark here. and guarantees dark here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope. So if this is light, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then either light is illegal, so this has to be dark. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh man, progress is being made. I am so here for this. Whew. Recent foreign to day job. Likely never resort to such strategies. Wonder what any assortment of modern generative logic engines would make of this. That's an interesting thought. You mean like if you plug this into Chat GPT, can it figure it out for you? I think that's not what Chat GPT is good at. Chat GPT is bad at math. There are definitely rules that you can apply to puzzles like this and generate puzzles from those algorithms. Also, hi Schmike, how's it going? Metroidvania and Sudoku. What are we talking about? I think I'm going to need you to explain. But good at lying to you about... yeah, the one thing that ChatGPT is good at is being confident about things. I will agree with that statement. Alright, now this can't be light. There we go. Which means this is light. This needs this to be dark. Which means this is dark. Looking good. Looking good. This is filled. This has exactly these. Which means this is filled. Which means this is dark. Which means... that took forever. Sounds like Mr. Gecko was talking about solving puzzles with logic engines. That's what it sounded like to me as well. I think you are correct. Wow, that was a mess. Oh boy! There's at least 50 more puzzles in this area. I don't think I'm ready for this. I don't think I'm ready for anything. Alright, should we try the giant one? Maybe let's get into this now while we still have time to get into it. Jesus, this is so big. Oh no. Sudokuvania Digits of Despair. It's a 40 by 50 grid representing a castle that you explore with a large number of subgrids that are Sudoku puzzles, and then boss puzzles you find that give you new abilities, like the obligatory double jump. That sounds rad as hell, actually. I did do a Sudoku puzzle one time that lied, and that was actually really cool because the rules that it gave you were internally consistent until you opened up new spaces that then told you that the rules were lies and you needed to solve the puzzle according to different rules, which was really cool. Actually, like, actually really cool. All right, so the usual rules about twos apply, which is I'm going to need 2 of these 3 to be dark, which means at least one of these 2 is dark. So here, that applies. And then this extends further out because you can't have both of these be dark. In fact, the only way for this to work is like this. Which means this is dark. Which means one of these 2 is dark for the 4. And now we're stumped. Post the link in the Discord, Schmike. Are you in my Discord? If you're not in my Discord, you should join my Discord. And then you should post that link in my Discord. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No reason why it can't connect. And then threes. Yeah, this is all like really quick to put together, and then the rest is a problem. Everything else here is a problem. Let's see. This can't be dark because it overcommits the 4. Likewise, these. Been on an informal moratorium on joining Discord since you hit the cap. You hit the cap? There's a cap? What happens when you hit the cap? Does it actually tell you that you can't join any more Discords? Actually, I think I heard about this from somebody else. There was stuff that wasn't working right in Discord. I've never actually hit the cap myself, but somebody told me that there was a cap, and it was preventing some feature from working correctly. So I left some of the Discords that I was in, and I have no idea how many Discords I'm in right now. Man, where else do I go from here? Can this be dark? I suppose it can. It would give this 9 and 8. 8s are allowed. This has 3 on it, so these can't be dark. This can be dark, actually, but this specifically can't. If this is dark, that gives... Oh, no, that still overextends the 5. But this is legal, because that doesn't overextend the 5 because of this change. Heard that it is now 200. Oh, okay. Fair enough. This cannot be dark because that overextends this 4. What else? What else? If this is light, then both of these would be dark. So this can't be light. So this has to be dark. Which means that's light. 3. Could be 4, 5. Or 4, 5. Or, yeah, it could be 4, 5, or it could be 4, 5. So one of these two is dark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One of these two is dark. They can't both be light, because that overextends the 5. The 7, rather. Don't know exactly what that means for this situation, but I know it's illegal. How are we doing here? One of these 5, one of these 4, 2 of these 6? Not super helpful. One of these 4... Can it be this one? If it's this one, all the rest of these are light. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that would require dark and dark? Which would actually be a legal scenario as deep as that goes. When did they change the cap? Because I remember when they were talking about the cap being 100. And that was not like immediately recent, but like as recent as November or October or something like that. 200 maybe tied to Nitro? Oh, I would believe that as well. Seems odd that there would be a cap like that. I guess it's to prevent bad actors. But, you know, as a non-power user of Discord, I could easily see myself being in 100 Discords. And I don't think that would be an indicator of being a bad actor. What am I doing here? One of these two is dark. What does that mean for me? Unfortunately, not enough. Not even at 100, and it's more than you keep up on, even on the ones you want to. I am in a bunch of Discords, not because I actively keep track of them, but because every once in a while, I need to go in to find information. You're a bad actor, nothing to do with your online attentions, I suppose. 100 is a lot for a bad... It depends on what they're doing. Like, if they're spamming in Discords, then I guess they could just spam and then leave. So they don't necessarily need to stay in that Discord. And if they're targeting individual people, yeah, they just join a couple of big Discords and target individuals. They don't need to join more than 100 Discords for that. You're right. I suppose I will agree with that statement. To figure out what connects here. If this connects, that gives me more information around here. I don't know if it connects, though. Could be dark here. And we have light here. We have 4 on the 9. I feel like between these two, we can do something. At least one of these two. If this is dark, these 3 are light. So this is dark, so this is light. Sure. 5, 6, 7. This puzzle is so big. This puzzle is so big. 10-ish Discords just for what used to be wiki purposes. Yeah. The kind of stuff that you would like go onto a wiki or go onto a forum for. I mean, definitely showing my age when I talk about forums. But all of that stuff is now just in Discords. And good luck actually finding that information without asking. And then there's, you know, a couple of other Discords that I'm in for what is essentially tech support purposes. Like, if something goes wrong, I want to be in that Discord in order to ask a question. Which I guess I don't need to be in that Discord long term. I could just leave and come back. That's fine for my purposes. But it's easier to just stay in it. And then there's, like, you know, a couple of Discords that my friends put together that I'm, like, in for solidarity, basically. Like, I don't want to be the person that leaves their Discord, but not very much happens in those Discords, and I'm certainly not paying attention to them. I just, you know, social pressure I don't want to leave. Let's see what others. I got a bunch of other categories of Discords. There are some Discords that I needed to join in order to access content that I wouldn't be able to see if I wasn't in that Discord. So almost like subscribing to a Patreon, but it's just joining a Discord. It just stacks up, you know? I don't know how many Discords I'm in right now, but when I was... When I had this problem happening, I was at like 98 or 97 Discords that I was in, and it didn't feel unreasonable. It just meant I had to organize them to figure out what I was actually paying attention to and what I wasn't. Because there were definitely some Discords that I was in, but never paying attention to. All right, what are we doing here? This is dark. that completes the 5, right? We'd have to go dark, dark, dark. Is that a scenario I'm willing to entertain? Maybe. 33? Sure. Yeah, I think I cut myself down to, like, I think I left like 30 or something irrelevant discords. I was like, okay, if I ever need to come back to these, I can rejoin them, but I'm not worried about it. And I think that number has, like, I've since then, you know, found myself in some number of other discords for similar reasons again. So I'm probably back up at like the 75, 80 mark in terms of the discords that I'm in. Of which I am actively paying attention to 9? If that? Not a whole lot. You keep running into the 100 server ceiling. Yeah, like, it feels pretty easy to do. So I guess it is still actively like 100 is the cap, unless something changes as a result of Turbo. Could we do something with this? I feel like this is, we got to figure something else out here. Oh, this is guaranteed light. At least that I can do. Because that's 4. So, yeah, that's guaranteed light. Which means this and this have to be light. Because if they were dark, it would overextend the 5. Here we go. Now we're into it. This 7 cannot connect up here, so this has to be dark. So this is light, so this is dark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If this were dark, it overextends the 7. If this were dark, it overextends the 7. If this were dark or this were dark, it overextends the 7. 3, 4, 5, 6. There is one of these two is dark and one of these two is dark. And that unfortunately doesn't give me enough information to really complete anything else. But it is progress. $57? That's pretty tame. I don't know. Like, 57 feels like a normal number of discords to be in, assuming that there are a decent chunk of those where you're not actively paying attention to them. Yeah, of those 57, how many are you actively paying attention? And what I'm assuming is an even smaller number, how many are you receiving notifications for every message? I think I am in 3 discords where I get push notifications for messages from them. And I'm in like somewhere to like the 9 to 12 range where when I am looking at Discord, I check these to see if there are any new messages. Can't imagine receiving push notifications for all messages in any of your servers. That's fair. There's a bunch of servers that I'm in where the amount of content that happens is fairly light. Pay attention to 3, get notified on 2, because technology will never dictate your schedule. Yeah, I feel that way as well. There are some severe restrictions on when my phone is allowed to talk to me for any reason. Otherwise, I will look at my phone when I want to be notified. And otherwise, my phone is to remain silent. Technology should be seen, not heard. One of these two. One of these two. And that doesn't... 3! 3 is so many dark cells. Darts! Can I do anything here yet? Or are we just going around the circle? Is that the plan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. This cannot actually be all 8 here. Because we need at least one more dark cell in this column. So if it's here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That doesn't require the 8 to get any more information from the right. Too bad. One of these two, which restricts how much the 6 can go to that side. But the 6 is still so open in other respects, it doesn't make a difference, I don't think. If either of these were dark, it would mean the 6 is connecting up to here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Which would leave a lot of restrictions on what else could happen near the 6. So probably this is illegal. But figuring that out doesn't actually help me with anything. The fact that viewpoints count themselves bugs you endlessly. I believe that, actually. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. It's sometimes difficult to remember when you're counting. Or it's something that you have to keep in mind when you're counting. What about this 9? Can I do anything with this 9? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. So the last dark cell cannot be here, because if this were dark, the rest of this would have to be light. And that would overextend the 9. Can this be dark? If this is dark, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 exactly. Which seems like it's probably legal. Willing to admit possibilities of legality. What about here? Did we... I think we tried to do the same thing with this 8 and it didn't take. Like, if this were dark, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this 8. Which seems fine, I guess. Seems fine. No problems. I mean, some problems. But those are my problems, not the logic grid's problems. Dark here? Two dark left here. One of these two is dark. We know that. What does that mean for the rest of the puzzle? Here through here, exactly one dark, somewhere here. One of these two is dark, which is how we got this set up. Could be here and here. That seems legal. Could be any number of things. Could be any number of things. What about these 5s? Maybe I could do something with these 5s. I feel like they're far enough away from everything else that it doesn't really help. We're going to try something real quick, just to see what it looks like. If I, for example, were to make this dark, that means we have light all the way around, and this 5 is fully completed, right? So we have to do this. Is this okay? Does this get in the way of anything else? The fact that this is a 3 means there's so much freedom. Does this mean anything for anybody? Feels like this means not a whole lot. Three. I think that means that I can now make guesses about what can be or cannot be here. I want to use the fill. Does this work? No. I want to not have to draw. I want to be able to click. Because this is now 4 for the 6. So this can't be dark. Oh, geez. What have I done? Yeah, something other than paint. I agree. Likewise, this can't be dark. Likewise, this can't be dark. This can't be dark? Hang on. Hang on. This and this. And this and this. In this situation. Yeah, the brushes only get so big is the thing. That works a little better. Four. If this were dark, that would complete the 6. Two in this row, one more column, one more in this column. This needs, actually, in this setup, this needs here and here, because only one of these could be. Which means this needs here and here. This is starting to look maybe impossible. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, dark. Yeah, this 8 is now overextended. George is a wizard? Does George make gyros? Does George call them gyros? Control plus will increase the brush size bigger than the menu lets you select. Whoa. Whoa. Anyway, this is illegal, is the point I'm trying to make. I'm gonna start this over and make sure that I didn't make any mistakes, because that was a lot of clicking. Right? So that's... This 5 is completed. This 4 now... Or this 6 now has 4. So this would add too many. 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 Two, 1, 0. This and this are now required. Which means this has to be dark, because that would overextend. 2, 3, 4, 5 would have to be here, so dark. And now the 8 is overextended. Yep, this doesn't work. Cool. So this has to be light. He runs George's Gyros. You do not know how he pronounces it. That's about what I expected. That was a lot of work to get one cell out in the middle of nowhere that doesn't lead me to any additional information. Unfortunate. Wow, that control plus is a lifesaver. Thank you, Garrett. Two, three, four, five, six, seven. So this can be dark. Maybe. It would not be illegal. Actually, can I already figure out something because 3 for this column? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, there's no guarantees. There's a Vietnamese place near you that uses the tagline "Pho to go," which flies in the face of what you've learned about how to pronounce pho. But to and go end differently. It's not like you can say photo go. That doesn't work either. Nor can you say fu to goo. Because all of this is a problem. I think pho has to still be pronounced differently from both to and go, which is correct because it's pho. But pho to go does roll off the tongue. It's true. That's true. I'm not going to argue that statement. Just because it's wrong doesn't mean it doesn't feel right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, if either of these are dark. Which seems okay. Yeah, I've seen that pun frequently. I've also seen a furniture store called Sofa King. People really like that. So edgy. Adult words are nominally funny. Yeah. I think I agree with that statement. Exactly, Garrett. The advertising copy writes itself. There should really be something I can do here. If this is dark, that puts 5 on this 8. So this would have to be dark as well, which means this is light. Does that mean anything real? I'm not sure that means anything real. I guess we could try it and find out. If this is dark, light, 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 light. This now has to be dark. Like that. If this is dark, that means this has to be dark and this has to be dark. Which means this is resolved. The zoo that had a dog as its main attraction. It was a corgi. Is this a joke? Is this a pun? It's an anti-joke. It's because you're making me think about it. Oh, I see. It's breaking the punchline. I understand it now. Because I have heard that other joke before. 2, 3. 6, 7. So this has to be 8 and then dark. What does this mean for me? This needs 2 darks, so it's got to be that one and that one. This 6 is 1 away from resolved. Two, 3, 1, 2. One of these two, so light and light. And this has to be dark here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this has to be dark. Yeah, this looks real, actually. I don't see any reason why this can't be the actual thing that happens. All right, let's try the antithesis. What if I put dark here? Does that break anything? Can I learn anything from this? We now have 4 here. So light here would require dark and dark. So this has to be dark. Which means this is too much for the 7. This is now 3 on the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 5, 6. So that's now light and dark. This 6 has 4, which means this can't be dark, because it was give it too much. Which means nothing yet. Means nothing yet. I want a reason for this to be illegal. Find me a reason for this to be illegal, please. Oh, this column now has not enough room for darks. I did it. We figured it out. In fact, even just looking at it from here, if this is dark, light, 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 we would have to have dark, dark, dark in order to allow for 3 darks in this column. If this is dark, light, 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 we need to fit 3 in here, so this has to be light. That much I can do. Can I do this anywhere else? Do I have any other, like, restrictive enough columns that I can't fit all of the relevant things? Like, if this were dark, light, 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 then we have 4 left over, which is fine. Can't fit 3 into 4. Can fit 3 into 5. But if this were dark, that means dark, dark, dark. Dark here? Is dark here illegal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? What position am I testing? We're testing this, right? So if this is dark, then light, 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 in addition to all these other lights, which means dark, dark, dark necessarily. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So dark, 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 which is illegal. Great. Great. Now what? I don't think that actually does anything for me. Like, directly. I think I should figure this out with a 7. Like, I think we figured out such that dark here and light here worked for broader purposes. So let's try it the other way around. What if light here, that requires that. 2, 3, 4, 5. There, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. So one of these 4 is dark. One of these 3 is dark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 of these 6 are dark. Which I think means we have to have light the whole way down, which is illegal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. Because at this point, if this were dark, 1, 2, 3, there wouldn't be enough room, so that has to be light. If this were dark, 1, 2, 3 isn't enough room, has to be light. If this were dark, 1, 2 leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, has to be light. So this is illegal. So this has to be light. So yeah, this has to be the other way around for the 7. Cool. Has to be like this. 2, 3, 6, 7. Great. Now what? Now these can't be dark and these can't be dark because the 6 can't connect. The 6 can't overextend. Which means we have dark, dark here. 3, 4, 5, 6. This cannot be light anymore. All right, now we're making progress. 1, 2, 3, 4. This has to be dark. We've actually got that filled in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If this were dark, that would overextend the 6. If this were dark, that would similarly overextend the 6. 1, 2, so that has to be dark. This has to be dark. This can't be dark, because that overextends the 5. This could still be dark? No, the 6 is resolved. Cool, whole big burst of progress. Excellent. God, that took a while to get here. So the 5 now has 3 more that it needs. Unclear if this is going to be light or dark. 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these. 1, 3 of these, interestingly. Likewise, 3 here. 3 here. How do I feel about that? Dark, dark, dark. If this is dark, we have 2 light. That's fine. If this were dark, have 3 light here. So these 2, one of these 2 has to be dark. 3 light. And then 2 dark among these 5. I think it's not restrictive enough to actually start guessing like that. This has 2. This can't connect. Because if this connected, that would be 6. Great. Whew. This is a struggle. There's a lot of pieces you got to put together here. This is 1 now. Could be 1 here and then one of these 3. Or it could be these 2. If this is dark, then the 7 is fully resolved, which means we'd need all 3 of these to be dark. So that's light and that's light. Cannot complete the 7 in that way. How long am I going to be in this puzzle, do you think? Are we going to be doing this all the way to the end of the stream? Huh. 1 more in this row. 1 more in this row, and it needs to be one of these 3. Could it be this one? That would give me light, light, completing the 5. Two, 3, 4. Could be 5, 6, 7. And then this could be dark. Seems legal. This needs 1 more. This needs 2 more. And it's not clear where those need to be. 2 more. 3. All of these are 3s. Horizontally, this needs 1 more. Maybe here I can get more information because of horizontals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the furthest over it could be is here. Dark. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dark. So those are guaranteed. There's only 1 more. 2 in this row. 2 in this row. Can I do anything with 2 in this row? Not really. Two more in this column, which is unfortunate, because otherwise I could get some cool information off of this 5. Four, 5, dark, dark. Six. Could be 7, and then dark here. Can I get anything in these columns now that I've filled in a little bit of information? No, there's still too much extra. Too much empty space. I'm still thinking about the zoo joke. It's the last thing in chat, so whenever I look over at chat, I have to look at I replaced it with a corgi and think about this mess of a joke. Rural Y. All right, this can't be dark. Because that would overextend the 5. This, on the other hand, is fine. Is this fine? Dark here? asking for more one-liners. I don't know what I'm asking for. I'm more complaining about the current state and letting it resolve itself in whatever way it resolves itself. Two hard R's. Okay. Rue is too short for online forms. That's probably true. I think I agree with that. I don't know. I put in JTE for a lot of things online because Jim the Eternal is 13 letters and a lot of things have a limit of 12 letters for your handle. So I have to find ways to cut it short. And I'm not going to be Jim the Eterna. That's a terrible idea. So I'm JTE in a lot of places. So 3 isn't like that bad. 3, 4. I guess if this were dark, we added 3 here. That would be fine. GameSpy wasn't going to let you do Rue. Oh, that's too bad. Dark here. This is interesting. These sets of 2s here, but I can only fill 2 of them. I'm not filling all 3 of them. What does that mean for me? You don't have to be like... I know what that anyway means. That anyway means you feel like you're filling space with stuff that isn't interesting, which is not the case, because origin stories for online names is always interesting. Almost always interesting. I guess I don't want to be like... Don't want to leave that too open. But personally, I love the origin stories for handles. One of these. 2 here. 2 here. What does that mean for this 6? Does that mean anything for this 6? One of them has to be within these 4. It actually can't be here, right? If this were dark? I guess it could if this were also dark, right? If it was dark and dark. But then the 6 is overcommitted. If this were dark, these 2 would be light. We'd have 4. So it would need this, which means the 5 would be overcommitted. So this would need to be dark. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which means the 6 is overcommitted. So this can't be dark? I think that's what that means. Your first RuneScape name was Nomino because of how the letters are spaced on the keyboard. That's kind of neat. Sounds kind of weird, so you made it Nomino. Sure. I think Nomino is fine. It's like Domino, except with an N. Finding out that Nomino is a tiny village somewhere in Asia. Yeah, you learn all kinds of things on the internet, don't you? If this is dark, then we have light, light. If this is dark, light, light, dark. If this is dark, both of these are light, and we have a dark up here. All right, if one of these is dark, can this be dark? Dark, light, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then dark on either side, yeah. Could be, I guess. This can't be dark, though, because we can't fill all 3 of these. I can probably make similar similar to this, assertions in other places. Right? Like this also, no, this needs room for 1. This needs room for 2. But I have 3 distinct groups. If this were dark, then I'd need one of these 2 and one of these 2. If this were dark, conversely. Hang on. If this were dark, then these 2 are light and these 2 are light, which leaves this open. If this were dark, these two leaves 2 open. This were dark. This is the most suspicious dark here, or cell for this kind of guessing. Right here. Because it actually restricts in a number of ways. Let's try it. Let's send this to paint. For my token 1 cell. If this were dark, we have light, light, light. That means dark here and dark here. Which now, this needs one of these 2 is dark. And one of these 2 is dark. And this 7 is overcommitted. Cool. If one of these 2 is dark, then we have 5 on this 7. Which means this can't be dark because it overcommits the 7. But there's still this whole other thing. So it could be here, or it could be one of these 2. And that would still be fine. If this were dark, that means we need a dark here for the 7. Which means these are light, which means one of these 2 is dark, which means that's light. Which still doesn't overcommit the 5. So maybe? There's a lot of trial and error here, and I want to have like better approaches, better heuristics here, and I can't quite figure out anything that works. 2, 3, 4. If this is dark, we have 5, 6, 7, and then dark. I need 2 of these 6 and 2 of these 6. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Jeez. Still 10 free here? That's a lot. If either of these are dark, that commits the 6 to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Either of these are dark, then this has to be dark, and this has to be dark. No, then this exactly has to be dark. If either of these are dark, then this exactly has to be dark, and so this has to be light. Because if that were dark, then this would have to be dark, and that would be 4. So now one of these 4? If this is dark, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is dark, this has to be dark. Where does that leave me? I think we take that to paint. Actually, let's start with this cell. Because this can be actually helpfully restrictive, right? Like, if... Let's try that. If that's light, then both of these need to be dark. Which means this has to be filled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which means this 9 can now not extend here. Which means this row is illegal. Cool, so this has to be dark. Which is great. That's helpful. That's more helpful than anything else I've done so far. How's this 6 doing? All right, what about this one? I want to, like, resolve one of these other viewpoint numbers. This is dark. Does that work? Probably. One of these two is dark now, which means this has to be light. One. This is interesting. This one here is interesting. To connect there. Can this be dark? It's still a 1. So it's actually pretty open. Here, though, if this is dark, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 exactly. Dark, dark. Which I think we decided dark, dark is illegal. Like, if this is dark, light, 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 dark, dark. Which means that has to be open. Which is 2 in this row. Again, yeah, okay. So this has to be light. Which, we're getting there. Slowly but surely, things are happening. Very slowly, and hopefully surely. Need to get something onto this 5. Can this be dark here? This cell exactly? Deciding if that's white, if that's light, actually does get me somewhere. So if this were dark... Now we need this and this and this and this and this. So this has to be dark. Which means this is fully resolved. And this needs to be here. Which this 5 is now overcommitted. So this needs to be light. Which means this needs to be light. Can this be dark? 2, 3, 4, 5. This cannot be dark either, because that also overcommits the 5. Cool. That's good. That's very good. So now this can't be dark, because one of these needs to be dark in order to solve the 5. So this 5 needs 2 down here, but there's still room for 3. Blah. So this is 2 out of these 4 here. This is 1 in this row, 2 in this row, 2 in this row, and it's so close to, like, actually resolving, and none of the things that I am doing are working. These both... not that one. This one. Because we need at least one here. Can't have 3 added to this 5. Can't have 3 added to this 5. How about here? Can I add 2 to this 5? If I here, then this needs to be dark also. Would this be dark? And this? Can both of these two be dark? That seems restrictive. I'm spending so much time in paint on this puzzle. Jeez. All right. If this is dark... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Dark there, there, and there. This is now 3. This is 2, and this is the only remaining spot. So that means light and dark. And the 7 is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is actually resolved correctly. Oh, this is looking legal or legal adjacent. This is looking like it might be real. How do I disprove this? I guess by trying to do the other way. Like, what if this is light? What does that do for me? That means one of these two is dark and one of these two is dark. So we have light and light. Which means one of these two is dark? Yes. So this is light. 2, 4, 5. So this has to be light. Because we can't add. Can add 2. 1 or 1. One of these two. If this is light, we have dark and dark. If this is dark, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and dark. Which works either way. It all works. Everything works. What a problem. All right. New question. What if dark? Now this 5 is 3. And this... Oh, this 5 is already 3. Damn it. This 5 is already 3. So this has to be dark. God, I've been sitting here for so long on this. That could have happened years ago. It doesn't change anything, but it could have happened years ago. This could be dark. And then I'd need 2 here. Or this could be dark. And then I'd need 1 here. Or this could be dark. And then I'd need 0 here. But if this is dark, this could also be dark? Yes? Yes. I feel like the stuff around this 5 should be more restrictive, but maybe that just means I need to try it out. Maybe that's the solution here. Like, what if this is dark? Then we have light, light, light. So this needs to be dark. So light, light. So this needs to be dark. So this needs to be dark. Oh, this is the pretty legal looking situation from before. Looking pretty legal. What about this one? If this is dark. Now what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, illegal. 6, 7 there. Which overextends the 5. Yeah. So this has to be light. So if this is light, that's dark. One of these two is dark. And that exactly means that one of these two is dark. Because if this is light, this is dark. So if one of these two is dark, this is light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this is dark now, light, light, this would have to be dark. Which means both of these have to be light, which is illegal. Also, it overextends the 7. All right, 1 in this row, 1 in this row, 2 in... No, 1 in this row, 2 in this row, which is not helpful. 1, 2, and then we're getting out of friendly territory. Can this be dark? Can both of these be dark? I think both of these could be dark. No, both of these cannot be dark. So one of these two has to be light, so this has to be dark. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3. Progress! Hell yeah. 2. Okay, so the 9 needs one more in this column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can't be here. Wait. Yes, it could. If this were dark, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, because it already has 1. It can't be here. How's this 7 doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Love that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 1, 2. Yeah, okay. Like, the most it can get out of this column, actually, is dark, dark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the most it can get out of this row is dark, dark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That sounds like progress. That's progress adjacent. Oh, this is 3! Dang. Filled it in. 2 here, 2 here, 1, 1, 1, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 of these 7. Interesting. And then 1 of these. If this were dark, these would be light. This were dark. If this were dark, light, light. Yeah, if this were dark, it fully seals this in because of where the other things. It was a Shih Tzu, though. At least it's consistent. So this has to be light. What's the most this 9 can get out of this, right? If this is dark, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This were dark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, there's a bunch more down here. If this were dark, the 9 is fully resolved. Actually, if this were dark, these are all light. That's not enough room. This has to be light. If this were dark, that's legal. If this were dark, 1, 2, 3, that does work, in fact. If this were dark, any of the rest do actually work. All right, if this is dark, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This were dark, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need to do at least that. Very slowly, making additional progress. Can these both be dark here? 3, 4, 5, 6, and then dark there? Yeah. One of these two and one of these two. Thinking about this mess also. 2 of these 5. It's pretty open. If this were dark, that would fully complete the 6. And then the 6 needs to be surrounded. We can't have, we can't have dark and dark, right? So we can't have dark here, because then that's too many things here. What if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Like if this were dark. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'd still need 2 more to seal it off here. So this has 3. And it has to go 4, 5. Or 4, 5, 6. Like here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this can't connect here. Nor can it go more than 1 this way. So one of these 2 needs to be dark. Which means these 2 both need to be light. Is that progress? Feels good. Once again, feels progress adjacent. It still hasn't unlocked the puzzle, though. I'm still waiting for that one connection just to be like, oh, yeah, here's the rest of the puzzle. And it hasn't happened yet, which is disappointing. How's this 9 doing? The most it can get here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. If this is dark, because it can only get 1 in this column, right? If this is dark, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 means that has to be dark. We do still need 1 more dark here, right? I guess if this is dark here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we don't have... It's not necessary that it extend. If this is dark, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so there is still room for any of these 3 to be it. Too bad. I was hoping. How's this 9 doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's still a possibility. Alas. Two in this column, huh? So furthest away from the 9 is here and here, which means it gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Damn it. No new information. No enforced connection here, which would actually give me a lot of information. Two of these 6. One of 3. One of 3? Okay. That does do, in fact, some guaranteeing. If this is dark... If these get filled in, what does that do to me? Not a whole lot. The 7 connecting with a 6? Man, this puzzle's a rough one. It just keeps going. I'm once again stuck on wanting a solution that is not trial and error. And I am having a hard time applying any formula or algorithm or heuristic to this puzzle. Is there a way to force this 9 to overextend? It has 4 right now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, yeah, obviously. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This were dark would be 7, 8. One of these 2 needs to be dark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, one of these 2 needs to be dark. Two, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is still a million. Does this change anything for this row? Not appreciably, no. This one gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it needs to be here. And this one gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Just depends on where this column is. One more in this column. We know one of these two is guaranteed. Two more in this column. Two more here, two more here. One more here. Be this one. Be this one. Yeah. If this is dark, then this has to be dark, and this has to be dark. Which means this has to be dark. Which means this has to be dark? Yeah. Wait. If this is dark, both of these have to be dark. Which means this has to be dark. Okay. You have a possible logical hint. Do I want a logical hint? It's probably better than just brute forcing, which is kind of where I'm at right now. But now this 9 is a lot more restricted, so I can add stuff. Like dark here means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And dark here means even worse. So that's guaranteed. One of these two opens that up. There. How's this doing? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8. Only one of these two, though. Oh! No, wait. Yeah, if dark here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay, that doesn't change anything. Can only be one black square in each 2x2. Yep. Need to fit 5 more blacks collectively into the third and fourth columns from the right. Okay. That is a fair way of looking at it. Yeah, I was looking at pairs in individual columns or rows, but I hadn't looked at combining 2 columns or 2 rows together. Yeah, I still need 3 in this column, which is rough. Actually, I think I can just apply that directly. Like, if this is dark, this is light, which means dark, dark, dark. If this is dark, both of these are light, which means dark, dark, dark. So regardless, this one has to be dark. Yeah, this has to be dark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This has to be dark now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is filled. Okay. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is either 4 or it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if this is light, both of these have to be dark, which is illegal. So this has to be dark. One, two, three, four, five. So this is now overcommitting. This is forced, correct? This now requires that, which requires that. Okay. This needs that. This is already resolved. This needs 2 of 3. This needs 1 of 4. This needs 1 of 3. This needs 1 of 2. This needs 1 of 3. This needs 2 of 4. This needs 1 of 2. This needs 1 of 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, the 7 is done. 1, 2, 3, 4 on this 6 now, which is only resolvable in one way. This way. All right. Required a team effort, but we got there. I think the team effort was mostly shortcutting stuff that I would have gotten to eventually, but I feel good about how this went. Mostly I feel good about it being over. Oh, how do I get out of here? This place is such a mess. That's a sightseer? The heck is that doing there? How is there still a sightseer that I missed? Thought I'd gotten them all at this point. Oh, I know where that is. That's the ring of hidden archways over here. My god, it's so close. It's like right here. Huh. Yo, there's this whole mess of like not impossible puzzles that I haven't even gotten started on. Maybe I should start on those. That seems like a good idea. Let's do some things that aren't impossible. That seems like a good place to start for the remainder of the stream. All dark. Oh, wow. I don't even start with anything. Okay. All dark regions have area 2. All light regions have area 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that can't be. That has to be 2, 3, 2. As opposed to 3, 2, 3. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Also 2, 3, 2. I see what we're doing here. I don't like it, but I see what we're doing here. 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 2, 5, 7, 10. Starts with a light. So this one, the opposite, starts with a dark. Eh! Interesting. So if this is light here, right? Then this spot is dark. So it has to be dark, dark, and then light all the way through. Which means this has to be light here, dark, 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 dark. And again, light, dark, dark. Okay, that does work, though. Sometimes you get to just draw the owl. So in what way must this be arranged? Could be 2, 3, 2, or it could be 3, 2, 3. It's like knitting? Sure. 2, 3, 2, or 3, 2, 3. 2, 3, 2, or 3, 2. So regardless, this is dark. And then on one of these sides, we have the light. So light here would be 3, 2, 2, 2, illegal. So I think it has to be like this. In what way do the shapes work? 2 or 3, but that means light here. Likewise, 2 or 3, but that means light here. Two, light, light. Or 3, that's not conclusive. If this is dark, this is dark. It can't be dark, dark, light, 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 because that would make the wrong thing. So this has to be light on the inside. And now I can, this is now more approaching how I've solved a lot of previous area rules. But it started off from the same logic as before, which is interesting. If this is dark, that's illegal. Is this exactly mirrored? It's not. It's not exactly mirrored. Light would be dark, dark, dark. Light would be dark, light, light. Dark, light. Should this be more obvious? I feel like this should be more obvious. Like it should have to go in a given direction for a reason. If this is light, this is dark. This is dark. If this is dark, this is light, so this is light. And then this is dark. Light, dark. Light, dark, dark, light. Dark, light, light. I should be doing numbers here. Yes. Darks in 2s, lights in 3s. Correct. I should be able to figure this out purely by math, this corner. Like, it doesn't matter which direction I start with. There's some guarantees here. I guess this doesn't need to be a barrier, right? Like, this isn't its own thing necessarily. If it were, then it would need to be like 3, 2, 2. But it could be 3, 2, 3, continuing out to here. But maybe I can extrapolate from this light into how the rest of this thing needs to go. Dark, dark. Light, dark. Light. Light. If this is dark, that's dark. That's light. That's light. Dark, dark. If this is light, light, dark, dark. Light, light, light. So it's either these two are dark or these two are light. So I can get the chain of lights every certain spaces away. Right? Like if these two are dark, we have light, 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 dark, dark, light. If these three are light, 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 dark, dark, light, light, light. Interesting. Dark, dark, light, light, dark, dark, light, 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 dark, dark, light, light, light. Yeah, because the every fifth one would be a light. Yep, that works. I don't really know where else you go with that. Because it's a snake? Sure. No forks? Where are you getting no forks? Oh, in this section. Yes, I agree. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If it's a straight line, then every fifth one has to be light. Once you have a light, every fifth one has to be light. I'm stuck on the like, if this is light, then this is light. And this can't be dark or light. So this has to be dark. I see the problem. I should have just started on this side. This is light? Fascinating. I think this might be wrong. think I might have screwed up a thing. No, this works. There is a way to continue that chain until I get to the end. Huzzah! Huh! These two need to set themselves up in such a way that they arrive in the center at the same thing, right? They need to be mirrored. Is there a way to mirror them such that I know exactly what these are going to be, right? Is there any way to set this up that's not 2, 3, 2, actually? 3. Two. No. Cannot be dark, dark. Can it be light? Cannot be light in a row. Can it be light like this? Can it be light like this? No. Yeah, it just has to be like this. Sometimes you just have to draw the owl. Light would be dark, dark. Light, light, light. Illegal. Light would be dark, dark. Illegal. Oh, this is actually coming together pretty cleanly. All right, time to figure out a starting point. What is my starting point here? Regardless of how this corner starts, this is light. Same here. Same here. Same here. Same here. Yeah, whenever you have an endpoint, you can predict the third one in. So if these two are dark now, we have light, 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 which is illegal. So we have this. Dark, dark, light, 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 illegal. How many spaces are left here? If this is light, then it cuts off here and I have 4, which is illegal. This has to be dark. If these are dark, this has to be light, light, illegal, light, and then room for 1 dark, so this has to be light here. Could be up, could be right. Regardless, if this is light, this is dark. If this is dark, this is dark. Dark, dark, light. Yes. Wait, no. One of these needs to be light. So dark. Like light, dark, dark, light, light, light. Dark, light, light, light. Light, dark, light, light, light. dark, light, light, light. So regardless, these two are light. Great. Fantastic. All right. Oh, that's not part of this area. Good, good. All right. I've actually gone over the point at which I intended to stop because I need to cut a little bit early today. So maybe we'll leave this bad boy for the future. Oh, Jesus. Why? All right. Maybe we'll leave this bad boy for the future. And call this a good stopping point. This game. This game is so good. I just want to keep solving puzzles. I just want to do puzzles all the time. Can I just do more puzzles? What if I just did more puzzles? What if I streamed Saturday and streamed more Islands of Insight? Because all I want to do is play this game. No, I should get started. I should buckle down on making sure that all my VODs are saved is what I should be doing with my spare time. But like, I just want to play more Islands of Insight. Anyway, this is it for tonight. This is the end of this stream. This is where we are calling it here.